Yes.
Perfect. So guys, you are recorded. You're being recorded. So be careful. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So I'll just start the presentation. So good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to people in US. Good evening to people in India. My name is Ali Muzzafar. I'm current chair of SSGSA, and today we are at the second orientation because last year we started our first kind of orientation of SSGSA, and this is second type consecutive year. And so, but before I start the presentation, congratulations to all of you. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity and plus a great accomplishment that you have got in coming into SSGSA. And I'm saying it because I actually was a SSGSA scholar, so I'll share my story in the presentation. So the first thing I want to tell you is obviously connecting us with what is the vision of how SSGSA is helping meet the vision of Sir Syed. And Sir Syed always say that I wish that youth of India should follow the example of young women, men and women of England who are religiously engaged in the hard work and the student development of their country. So we all know that Sir Syed went out of the country to see how people are getting educated, people are learning the industrial revolution and all those things. So he got inspired from there. And obviously we also need to go out and see how we can improve and bring those improvements in India and Aligarh or in your life, whatever you decide. But going out there makes our life kind of visible to everyone, and also we see what is out there. So Rajat, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so, a kind of motivation for all of you, starting like this is Aligarh, where we start so small. It looks like it's big right now, but if you see, next slide, if you see the comparison of Uttar Pradesh, Aligarh becomes just a red dot, right? It's become so small. And next slide. And then, but if you see Aligarh, not UP in comparison to India, or Aligarh in comparison to India, it becomes more small, right? And then if you see India in terms of the world, it becomes a dot again, like Aligarh. So there is a world out there we still need to explore, which we have to go out there and see what is out there, like in terms of knowledge, in terms of people, culture, tradition, what is there, and that always broaden our mindset in terms of us people who have never been outside. And who went there after 2 or 3 years? Hey, what have changed? For example, if you ask me today, and if you would have asked the Ali of 2013, very, very different understanding of culture, tradition, knowledge, especially. Hey, this is how you get knowledge. This is what engineering means. For me, engineering or MBA will mean different in 2013 rather than now today, where I feel it in different lens. So it's important that you come out of that dot of Aligarh. Feel like it's not the whole world to you. The whole world is something much, much bigger than that. So those are kind of inspiration. That's what we thought that SSGSA will help you to go out there and see the world. So that's the kind of vision. And today, obviously, I'll have one of the scholars, Rajat, who is helping me coordinate, Rajat, and he will share his experience. Wasikul will share his experience. He's also the operation head and currently is with me on the call. And he will share experience and tell you how SSGSA helped us, not only Wasikul, Rajat, me, as well as a lot of people who are out there living their life in somewhere better and happy about themselves. SSGSA helped them a lot. So obviously SSGSA, that's what we know SSGSA with. So if I sometimes use SSGSA, so don't mind that. You'll know that it's almost the same thing. All right. So Rajat, can you go to the next slide, please? So SSGSA orientation 2017, my journey where I wanted to start with. Rajat, next slide. So I actually graduated from, I actually studied both senior secondary school and BTech from Aligarh in 2000, finished everything in 2014, came in 2008. Favorite spots, Maulana Azad Library, all the Chungi and all those stuff that we had used to have. But after that, after finish my graduation, undergrad in 2014, I went to Malaysia, working as a research assistant in a smart home lab. It was funded by Samsung. It was a very good experience. First of all, coming out of the dot of Aligarh, going to Malaysia, and it was an interesting experience. Then I did some scuba diving, all those things. Life started becoming broader in terms of. Then I went to University of California. That's where I graduated from with a master's degree in engineering management. But before that, the major part was the triggering point was getting SSGSA Scholarship, and at that time it was SS Scholarship. That was a triggering point for me to, hey, I can do this. I can go out there, see the world. I can meet these people who we hear about doing great research and getting a lot of doing a lot of leadership activities in management and all those things, because I decided to move myself into management. So I found myself like University of California. I just researched about that university. It was pretty good and went well. And then after that, finishing my master's, I actually currently working. Next link. I'm currently working with Deloitte and Touche. It's a consulting firm. I love what I do. To be very honest, I cannot say that maybe there's something better for me, but I love what I do today, and I'm very proud of my work, and hope to continue that. And the company I joined is very great. So here's the thing. We went out there from Aligarh. We saw this world, and then wherever you are a little bit happy. So that was the inspiration that I wanted. And exactly in same shoes, if you track back 4 years from now, I was there in 2013 when I got SSGSA Scholarship, exactly at the same place where you guys are. I didn't have that same call which you are having right now, but I did have that motivation from all the members of SESA family, of the SSGSA family, members including, I'll show you the members in a while, and who are all those members who are helping us to kind of give a history about how SSGSA started. So Rajat, can you, okay, let's just skip it. Go to the next slide, Rajat. Yep. So before I tell you about the group and SSGSA, let me tell you what some of the student testimonials were from the graduate study in USA. Next slide, Rajat. So this is an environment student. I took it from a couple of websites I was been reading in. I was surprised by the great help we got from the professors and teaching assistants. They're willing to go on extra mile to help the students. This student is a chemical engineering student from University of Massachusetts. So I'm from these lines. I'm telling you that in U.S. the education standard is completely different. Teaching assistant professors are very, very helpful, and not only in U.S. I'm not undermining India's teaching assistant ability, but I'm saying that you guys have more opportunities in terms of education system. There's a lot of improvement that has required in India. So when you go out in USA, Europe, you will see that people are very, very helpful in education system in helping you grow research-wise. Next slide, Roger. Again, some of the testimonials. When choosing a program, a student should consider departmental ranking in addition to university ranking. In some cases, a department in university without a huge high ranking may have a strong infrastructure and stuff, or the other way around, the university may have high ranking, but the department may not. Yeah. Rajat, what happened? Something happened, Rajat?
Actually, Abdullah was not able to connect to the call, so Wasikul was, I think, trying to say something.
Wasikul, go ahead.
Actually, I already sent the instructions of how to connect through call to Abdullah.
Okay, perfect. Should I continue? All right.
Yes, continue, please.
Okay. So the second testimonial is about universities' program importance. We know many of us just go out there, select the ranking of universities. Very bad approach. The reason is, if you're not going to study in the university, you're studying the program of the university. So one Turkish student said that it's important to make sure that the program is very reputed of that university, not only the reputation of university matters, but also the reputation of program matters. So we will definitely help you or do that research, but at least the homework need to be done from your side. Starting from now on, I'll discuss with you later what is the importance of selecting program in university. But these, just I wanted to make sure to highlight these couple of testimonials out there. Next, Rajan, please. All right, 1 second. Yep, you can switch this. So I will share the screen with you all, and then you can read about these, like what are testimonials, so that it will help you as well. I selected these from the internet. So yes, this is very important. Go back, Rajat, please. So in U.S. education system, it's very important. Wasiqul will share that as well. The importance of self-study and inquiry. To a lot of things that we cannot be dependent on. Like we had a culture of using the knowledge base in for example, if there is a sessional test in India, in Aligarh especially, there are a lot of questions from the past which we can copy paste and then start studying, or the assignments can be copied, or it can be done. I'm like, there are jugaad, all the time. I'm like, I'm not trying to vilify education system, but that's been culture of education system which we have been seeing. Something different in US. I'm like, every week you have assignments. Every week counts for your total marks overall for the subject. So it's a little bit different, and it's actually consistent for every university or program to have this kind of culture. So you'll see a more more emphasis on self-study and kind of submitting the assignment correctly. And again, it's become very, very big issue, plagiarism. Plagiarism is such a high issue in US that most of the SSS scholars or SSGSA scholars have been rejected in spite of maybe they have better profile than you. But just because a lot of people plagiarize so much their SOP and all those things, we rejected them. So we started doing that because we understand that it's important to have that mindset since the beginning. And then Wasiqul will also highlight how much important it is in PhD world when research and your paperwork and everything need to be submitted. I don't know if I read about the recent scientist in IAST, Indian Institute of Space and Science Technology. He a lot of 50 papers or more than that, where actually a lot of sections of that papers were copy pasted directly from other papers, and those papers were not referenced or not called out, and they were not being asked whether they should share the material, whether he should share the material or not. So it's become a very, very critical issue. So make sure you guys are aware of that before you come over here, that you need to start practicing that kind of ethics and from now on. Go to the next slide, please. Yep. So a couple of testimonials from SSGSA scholars. So Shujat is actually one of a good friend. We graduated together. He was awarded SSGSA in 2015, and currently he's almost about to finish his master's from University of Massachusetts Amherst with the full scholarship he received there. He got a stipend as well. So there are questions whether I know you will ask how to get a scholarship and everything. There are people out there who have received a scholarship with a stipend. That means you're getting paid. That means every month you are actually a kind of like a full employed person in compared to India. So if you compare it to India, if you compare TCS, if they pay around 3-4, you'll be paid more around that same. Yeah, actually more than that, quite more than that. So obviously, so there's a trade-off again. You will have to work hard. You have to make sure that your marks and everything are on par to the excellence of what is required for a scholarship and a stipend and all those things. So Shujat obviously shared his story about SSGSA. Wasiqul is on the call with us. I'm so glad he is, and obviously it's so early for us, but thank you, Wasiqul, for jumping over. So Wasiqul is one of the brightest scholar of SSGSA. Again, guys, I'm still trying to make myself aware of SSA and SSGSA. So hopefully we will do that. And the reason we changed the name, I think there was a lot of confusion, plus being global sounds more cooler as well. So Wasiqul will share his story what he's going to do afterwards once I finish the presentation, and then you can ask questions to all of us, obviously. And Wasikul went to CERN. He has a lot of experience to share with you what he's currently doing as a PhD in Oklahoma State University, and all those, and then he will show you the importance. So next slide, please, Rajan. So again, see, I missed the setup on the top. But anyway, so SSGSA Scholarship is completely merit-based, guys. I mean, like, you guys are not here because you know somebody. You're not here because you're poor. You're not here because your father knows a professor who knows an executive member, and the executive member know me or Wasikul or somebody else. No, you're here only because of your merit. You're here because you wanted to come to US, and we have seen the passion in you, or the interview committee has highly recommended you. So be proud of yourself, guys. I mean, this is amazing. Congratulations again. I cannot emphasize much on the fact that this is a good opportunity for you to do your homework. Make sure you started the preparation already. Obviously, a lot of people might not have get connected with us. Like, might have not reached out to you and make sure that you are connected, because a lot of us have full-time work as well. But make sure that once you are in the system, once you are in the family, you're doing your part. You started doing your preparation, and you started doing all the other things as well. And make sure you bother us. Bother us means send us email. We don't mind being followed up. Hey, Oliver, you missed me. 3 days you didn't reply me. Hey, Wasikul, you didn't reply me. What is happening? Bother us. It's completely fine, because if you own your career, guys, if you know that you are, if you feel that you have the passion to make sure that you are on the right track, make sure that you understand the importance of time for you, then we will be there to help you. We will be jumping on call. We will be there at the night of your university application, making sure that everything goes smooth and well. Next slide, please. So obviously, SSGSA Scholarship helps. How we work is, just wanted to give you kind of the overview, guys. Selection of scholars, that's what already have done. Mentoring is the important part. You will be assigned a mentor. Mentor becomes very critical when you start applying. You know what I mean? I'm like, when you have to write your statement of purpose, making sure that it's properly reviewed, making sure that the resumes are properly reviewed. The formatting of resume is going to be completely different with what we are used to in India. So there obviously is a required of review from somebody who is in US, who understands the standards and the process here. So mentoring becomes very critical at that time. Mentoring also is critical when you're preparing, but just as a heads up, mentor is not going to, remember words for you, 200 words of balance for you, and say that, I read 200 words, you should read 200 words. They're not going to go beyond that. I mean, everybody have their work, their PhD, like Wasikul have their PhD program running. I have work full-time, and other executive members who will be your mentor, potential mentors, will be having their work as well. So preparation part will become very critical for you to do your homework. Make sure we will be following up with you. There is a knowledge team that obviously I will connect you all with after this call, and I'll brief you about that knowledge team. What they will do is, like, they will make sure that they will review your preparation, and they'll make sure that you are on track. So I'll talk to you about the knowledge team at the end. You know what? I actually should talk about it now, because otherwise we'll forget. So this is the preparation part for all of you. I mean, like, this from June onwards to September, October, the preparation part is very critical. In these preparation parts, we actually going to share the Magoosh. The good news is Magoosh has finally to give us all the counts. So everybody who, and again, it's very important to understand that Magoosh materials only for those who want to give GRE this year. And if you don't want to give GRE this year, please do not take Magoosh, because it will expire in 6 months. If you're very confident I think it's okay if you're not going to give your GRE this year, and you're planning for something 2 years now. It's okay. You still need to be on this call, but just you need to make sure that you communicate that to us. Hey, Alivai, Wasikul, Sikul Bhai, I'm not planning for this year. My scholarship will still can be redeemed next year. So I will do it next year. Please do not share Magoosh with us. Obviously, we'll only share with people who are genuinely interested in giving. There are limited accounts for Magoosh, so make sure that you start communicating us with we need Magoosh right after this call. Wasikul will be the prime contact for you to help you with the Magoosh accounts, and just make sure you CC me as well in that email. For sure. So reach out to Wasikul and me for the Magoosh account. But guys, make sure that you're going to give the GRE, because here's the thing: this is a donor-based scholarship program where we also have financial loop, which obviously is not in billions or millions. It's going to be in thousands. So we're limited with finances. So, and that I'm going to talk about next, but. So we need to make sure that whatever we have, we provide the best out of it, and people get benefits out of it. So don't misuse it. It's our responsibility to not misuse it. I hope you understand this, because we are in the month of Ramadan as well. So, but this is it. The preparation part is very critical, and what we are starting this year is having a team. Can you go back? Having a team of knowledge management is kind of like. I've already shared the website with you, the SSGSA website. So, Rajat, can you quickly show that your resource tab to everybody on the website?
Yeah, sure. Just.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Just show the website, show the resource tab. Guys, we are working on this website. As well, we're working on this tab as well. But I want you to kind of see what is out there right now and how you can get the best out of it. I mean, like, Rajat did a great job. Rajat and Abhay Mittal are working on it.
Just
is it there?
Just
okay,
a
cool.
sec. I'm working on sharing the screen, because I was sharing the slides.
Okay, no worries. So guys, this what I'm going to show you now is on SSA website itself. If you go and type, if you go on the top corner, there is a resource tab where you will see the new materials out there. New materials in terms of everything that every interesting link or material that you can access is out there. It's very interesting because it came from our past scholar, and Rajat did a great job in his GRE. He got 327. That's right, Rajat?
Yep.
Yes. Yes, perfect. So that's a good score, and that means that he has done his research.
I think the people can see the website right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So this one is the resource tab, where you can find all the resources that we have gathered for you guys. So just go over there and you can see we have sorted it out accordingly for the GRE, TOEFL, and there are some Facebook groups relevant to the preparation. And this thing is very much consolidated preparation material, very important for you guys. So I'll just open it up quickly so that you can see.
Yep, and this is a Google Drive.
Oops. Okay, there was some problem. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
So
excellent.
This is the resources that were gathered before. We are working on sorting it out. The work is still in progress, because most of the material in here is relevant, but we have to separate the material that is irrelevant for you, so that you don't waste any time on reading those materials. So it's still work in progress, but yeah, most of the materials you find in here would be very much useful during your preparation. So I would highly recommend to go over this link from resource tab, and yeah, just take advantage of it.
Yep, excellent. Exactly. So go to this resource tab while you're preparing, and don't for us, what we have done is like made Google easy for you. Like when you Google GRE preparation, you will end up getting thousands and thousands of links, right? What we did here, make sure that you get the most quality link out there which is available. So go through it. Obviously, don't overwhelm yourself with, making sure that you're going to read every single thing. No, whatever you feel like is according to your own style of preparation. That means if you feel like, okay, Manhattan is the best preparation field that I can feel, then go ahead and start preparing for Manhattan and use the link of Manhattan. Don't use the link of Barry. So make sure that you understand your style, and every single materials have their own style of teaching. Anyways, go ahead next. So I forgot to tell you about the knowledge team. Knowledge team is going to track your progress. Once you get the Magoosh, we are going to track your progress, guys. I mean, it's not like we give you Magoosh and you're not preparing. We don't know. We know that you are not you're not preparing. So we will track you bi-weekly, monthly, and we will give you a report or flag you, hey, you're not preparing. Or we can say that, hey, you got very less score. What is happening? Can we help you? And all those things. So we'll be there tracking your progress, and we can access everybody's dashboard in Magoosh. So whatever you're doing in Magoosh will be visible to us. So make sure, that's why it's important to make sure that once you get that benefit, you use it. Don't just sit idle and just leave it. We have, sometimes, I'm not telling about like you guys will have a habit, but a lot of people have a habit of, I take this because I wanted it. Something I need this, I just need it. But I won't open this. Like this is, it's okay, I just have it, that's perfect. You just wanted to have it, you don't want to use it. So don't have that mindset of having it and not using it. So make sure that you want to use it, use Magoosh. It's very important from the finance perspective for us. Obviously, last year, just want to quickly, and then not warn you, but highlight that thing is as well. Like last couple of 2 years, we have noticed that a couple of students we're thinking of preparing for 2 years after, or we're not in mood of GRE, but still got the Magoosh. They never opened Magoosh. They never created an account, and they'd end up obviously losing the whole scholarship itself. So the committee decided that they should not be given a scholarship. So after they did that behavior, so it's important for you guys. I don't want you guys to be having the same issue. To make sure that you do that. That's one thing important. It's not in my hand, guys. SSGSA Executive Committee is also above me. So guys, need to make sure you guys are all safe and going to work hard for your applications. Anyway, so financial support. Just want to emphasize on this. Most of you already know. Online GRE training program, almost $120. If you convert it into rupees, it's a lot of money, 8,400 something. Financial assistant, GRE and TOEFL. TOEFL also including as well. So total a lot of money. Don't want to convert that and to make you feel bad about it. But application fees vary between $50 to $200. And we are going to provide application fees for all the universities. That means every university you're going to apply for. For example, in India, just like if you want to apply for, just say University of Delhi, JNU, or IIT, India you have to fill the applications. Every application will have a fee. Similarly, here in US as well, every application you send to a university, the package will have a fees to it, and that's what we will provide 5 university fees. Score reporting fees, that's interesting as well. So with the application fees of every university, you need to send them your scores of GRE and TOEFL. That's how they know what is your score, right? So for that, also there is a reporting fee. So around total expenditure is a lot of money for you guys, and no cash is provided, or any account transfer is provided to any SSGSA scholars. Everything will be paid by us directly to GRE, TOEFL, or to the respective university. So make sure that you're going to share your credentials of GRE, and we will share you what exactly I meant by that in the next slides. Brother, can you go next, please? And obviously, you can ask your questions in the meanwhile. Okay, there's a question. Cool stuff. I like that. Okay, cool.
Yep, there was a question related with varsity tutors and the materials provided by them. I'm not sure.
Varsity, yes. So varsity tutors, is it a paid thing? What is it?
I'm still not sure. Like.
Okay, so Ali, I think it's something varsity tutors. I think something. Is it something of a tutor in New Delhi or something? Muhammad Ali Khan will. Okay. Okay, what's he cool? You guys can answer the questions on chat box. I'll just take care of the presentation meanwhile. Yep. So, but any question from the presentation perspective, let me know. Admission requirements. To give you guys an overview of admission requirements, the university, in terms of like when you send application package, what does the package contains for every university that you apply to? So at high level, it contains obviously your undergrad or graduation transcript. Graduation transcript in case of people who are applying for PhD and already have their master's. So that transcript will be there. So obviously make sure that you're graduated first of all. Make sure that you applied for a transcript in a leaguer. You have more than one transcript, more than one, whatever university you're applying to, that number of transcripts. Tests, GRE and TOEFL scores that you need to send to admission. Statement of purpose, very important piece. It's kind of like a story of what you have done. If you're taking notes, make sure you take notes a little bit. Some points are very valuable. Statement of purpose vary with university to university. That means every university will have different length of a statement of purpose. Every university have different program. Maybe you're applying for nanotechnology in one. Maybe you're applying for a subset of nanotechnology in the other. So you're not going to write the same SOP. You're going to target the exact same program and how your profile fit into that program. So a statement of purpose, since it's concise, you need to start talking business with them. You need to start talking what you exactly want to do. You just can't roam around and write a story about your childhood life, how you invented something, or you can't just start talking about how you used to inspire people. You have to, like, obviously there is the inspiration part is important, but we need to get sooner to what the main content and what main meat is in your SOP, and that is going to be how you are fit for the program. And the fitness is shown by what you have done to show the interest in that work, right? So guys, statement of purpose becomes very critical. And good news, we will have a webinar especially on a statement of purpose by one of the executive committee, Rehan Bakri Bhai. He actually got his postdoc from Harvard. He helped us review the statement of purpose. He was the person who so give you a history of SSGSA. Shaida and Rabi Bhai and Rehan Bakri Bhai started SSGSA in 2007, and that's how it started. Because when they came to US, they realized that it's important for a legal student to get coaching or kind of mentorship. So how would we provide that mentorship? Hey, let's all the seniors come together and then start making a group of juniors who are highly motivated. Let's call them SSGSA scholars, and let's bring them up and try to bring them up by coaching them, mentoring them, and providing them. So you need to be highly motivational, guys. You need to make sure that you. I understand that a lot of time in your life, time will come. You will realize, hey, you know what? UPSC भी कर लेते हैं, and यहाँ भी job मिल जाती है, and then यहाँ भी कर लेते हैं, यहाँ भी कर लेते हैं, यहाँ भी कर लेते हैं. We all are like that. I mean, like I'm not saying that I just came out of nowhere and said, okay, Ali बचपन से ही University of California Irvine में पढ़ना चाहता. It's not like that. I'm like you have to understand the reality. Obviously, being in India, we faced with the challenge of which career option we need to pick. But sometimes it's important to let it go, let that confusion go, and stick to one path. Stick to one path. Motivate yourself. Keep motivating yourself. If you're worried, ask your seniors. Say, you know what? I'm trying GRE. It's getting tough. TOEFL is getting tough. Do you think I should leave it? Do you think I should go for IAS? Because here's the thing. Here's the trick. Here's the secret. The things you're not preparing for are always easy because you have not gone to the obstacles of them. So once you start preparing for IAS, hey, I'm GRE TOEFL to dada IAS. Yeah, let's get back. See, don't be a jumping ball. Whatever you're doing, get into it, and then start working on it. Let's take it back. unless it becomes very sometimes like it becomes impossible, like, this is not my cup of tea, this is something different, okay, just leave it. Then it's a different thing, but don't leave it, or don't stop doing it because you get a hurdle, or just because you scored 280 out of 314 GRE in a test score. Don't do that. Work hard to get more scores, but don't leave it because you feel like you cannot progress enough in the less time that you have. You have to push the envelope here. So that's why it's important for you to be motivated. And obviously, we all are here to help you keep motivated in that direction. And again, next one is letter of recommendation. I cannot emphasize more on the importance of letter of recommendation. It's like the most important critical piece. Like for some of the universities, it's so critical that they will only okay, here's a great statement of purpose. Somebody could recommended him. What is his profile? What is the person who said about it? What he said about it? It's very important. It's important to understand that letter of recommendation are two types. One, and that is generally in a legal as well, and that is where the professor don't type it for you. You type it for yourself and give it to professor, he sign in, and that's always the norm in a legal. Make sure, guys, that starting from now on, you have a very good relationship with your professors. Make sure that you communicate, Professor, I'm trying my best to prepare for USA, and I got this scholarship, and I hope I can make it. I would love if you can write a recommendation in your own words. I would really appreciate that. Obviously, a lot of university professors won't do that because they don't have the time. I feel like I don't know how they don't have the time, because everywhere in USA they always type it for you. It's unethical for a student to ask to type their letter of recommendation. But most of the case in your guys, I typed my letter of recommendation, like one of them myself. Two of them I was lucky enough to get from professors. So guys, make sure that you have a very good relationship with your professor. And if you've already developed it, perfect. If you have not, I'm not telling you to develop it just for the heck of it. Make sure that you communicate and start, communicating and start making sure that your professors know you. Don't be a person who sit in the back and then apply for university abroad and then ask professor to just, sign on the piece of paper with you yourself writing a recommendation. Try to at least get an original letter of recommendation. If not, we'll help you with a letter of recommendation as well, obviously. And then a letter of recommendation, there will be a webinar as well. So research experience, these are optional part. These are part of your statement of purpose, whatever you published. If you haven't published, it's okay. We can show it in other ways. You can show it in other ways. But it becomes highly critical for people who are applying for PhD. Extracurricular activities, again, very important. One-page resume is important as well. And again, I was telling you the format in US, it's always about one-page resume. Unless you have a lot of things to show at patent or you have papers, then it becomes 2 pages, detailed academic resume. So go ahead, next slide, please. Again, we will have a series of webinars, guys. And series of webinars means we'll have a webinar on especially resume writing from staff Sheikh Bhai, who is again executive member of SSGSA, and Rehan Bakri Bhai will be talking about SOP. I already told you. Networking and how to reach out to professors will be taken by Syed Ali Rizvi Bhai. Wasiqul will be talking about research exposure, or how to kind of fit your profile into research, and he will highlight that as well when he will talk after me. So admission process timeline, guys.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to mention that as far as SOPs and LORs are concerned, even the minutest detail is relevant with your application, and you don't want to screw anything with your application and compromise with the chances of getting into your dream university. I was just reading about an article on LinkedIn the other day, and just saw that 5 of the applications were rejected just based on the Facebook posts that the applicants have posted on their timeline. So you don't want to compromise, you don't want to lessen your chances based on anything on your profile. So just make sure that everything is good. That's what I wanted to mention.
Thank you, Rajat. Wasiqul, do you want to add something as well before I move to the next slide?
I think I will include all this information when I will talk.
Okay, perfect. So admission process timeline, guys. You need to understand that first you have to first kind of like book your GRE and TOEFL, and that is by mid of July. Because the spaces are limited in GRE and TOEFL as well. So GRE and TOEFL, you need to be registered. And for that, what you have to do is like first sign up yourself on GRE ETS. Obviously, we will share. I think there is already, Wasiqul will send you an email in 2 weeks or something when there's time. And then that email will have the steps. Hey, you have to go to GRE ETS, register yourself, send the registration credentials to us, username and password, so we can go ahead and pay your fees inside. But we have to fill all the details, obviously name, father's name, mother's name, and all those things which GRE asks you for. And then take GRE and TOEFL, obviously August to October mid. And I think it differs, guys. This deadline, the second one which I'm talking about, when you should take GRE and TOEFL. Have a list of universities, have a tentative or have a potential list of universities. If you feel like there are many cases where your first deadline is in the end of December, right, and you feel like you're not prepared enough in GRE and TOEFL, don't give your test in August because like it doesn't make sense. Give yourself a little bit of time because your first deadline is in the end of December or the first week of January, so you still have time. What is ideal is to have a gap of the first deadline with you, at least a month of gap, so that you have enough time to get the scores and prepare the package. Obviously, you have to start preparing the package before. It's not like once you finish your GRE, then you start preparing SOP and resume. You have to start preparing those package materials while you're preparing for GRE and TOEFL. So if you're doing that, but I cannot emphasize more on the importance of giving your GRE and TOEFL when you're confident enough to give it. Because the scores really matters. It's not like you're just going to give it and it will give you XYZ score and any university will just accept it because you have an amazing profile of 10 gold medals and all those things that you think that will show your profile as fantastic. No, it's not like that. You have to understand that it's totality that matters. If the trade-off is very important. Obviously, there are a couple of things. For example, if you receive a 320 GRE, but the minimum cutoff for that university is 322 or something, right? And you have an amazing profile. And the university professor reached out to you back as well. He's interested in your profile. So they might consider you because it's just 2 points. But they won't consider you if you have a score of 300 or 280, right? So the profile sometimes kind of nullify those little bit differences, but not much. So make sure that you are beyond cutoff of the university. So every website of a university will have a cutoff for GRE. And inside GRE, they also have a cutoff for verbal section and quantitative section. So you might have already know about this, but GRE has verbal and quantitative section. TOEFL also have 4 sections: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And so a lot of universities emphasize on, hey, if you're a PhD student, you should have more on speaking, you should have more on writing. So make sure that you research your cutoff scores on the university that you think that you should apply to, right? And have a list of universities already, guys, and start if you know what, you're preparing, but it's not bad idea to spend half an hour or 1 hour every day to think about the program that you want to apply, that you're potentially interested in. And obviously it depends, it much depends on the score that you get in GRE and TOEFL. I agree. But at least you can, gauge yourself, understand, hey, I think I can get near 315 or 325 because the reason is, because I'm getting these test scores after 1 month of preparation, it looks like 315 for 25 is the score. Let's see what are the universities that I can target with these scores, right? Let's be realistic. Realistic is very important, but always try to hit high guys. I'm like, you are obviously the topmost cream layer of leaguer, mashallah, and then you have to understand, push the limits out there. Make sure that you realize how much potential you have, and don't just compromise your potentials in terms of, hey, you know what, 310 aa raha, theek hai, koi baat nahi, aage chalte hain. And don't do that. Hit as high a score as possible. Work as hard as possible, because just a matter of couple of months. After that, once you have, so here's the thing, if you know what, you will always regret. If you come to university in a middle tier, you'll feel like, oh, you know what, I have such a great profile. I should have scored more on GRE and get a good university. At least try to get a university. Obviously, there are many factors which comes to it, but don't let this minor issues like GRE and TOEFL cutoff scores affect what your profile can get out there in the world. Anyways, let's go to the next tab, guys. I'm like, the timeline you can see, you can definitely, I'm talking about building your SOP, starting applying. So we provided a timeline, and it's highly subjective, these timelines, because it depends on the deadline of your university. You're not going to go ahead and say whatever I'm saying to you, do whatever I'm saying to you, like start preparing in November, when your deadline is 30th November. Hey, Ali bhai ne kaha tha ki bhai 30th November ko SOP likhte hain, और application deadline to चली गई, आपने तो बोला था कि डेट पे है. It's not like that, guys. I'm like, you have to be realistic. That it's highly subjective case. Whatever your deadline is, what will decide what your timeline will be. Go ahead next, please. So again, admission process timeline, list pros and cons of all admits. Again, this is after you got your acceptance. Hey, you got your acceptance from, you applied for 10 universities, you got acceptance from 5 universities. Now, there are many issues which comes up. Hey, where I'm getting the financial assistance, I know that there might be many questions for these financial assistance. Wasiqul and Rajat, I think I'm getting a lot of questions on chat, so make sure you answer that while I'm going on the presentation. After getting visas, book tickets, obviously that is an again. We'll obviously will help you with all these as well. So go to the next slide. Just. All right. Transcript. Ask RPU about issuance of transcript. I think RPU is more engineering specific, right, Richard? But thank you for preparing these slides, a couple of slides that I'm showing you from your deck. So guys, wherever you find your transcript from, make sure that you have it placed once you graduate out of college. Or those who already graduated, make sure that you have it now, so that it's just a less headache after a while at the deadline. Go to the next slide, Project, please. So, some universities require consent transcript. So, kind of you can read it through, guys. I'm like, these are a couple of good to know things, and I will be sharing the slides. What are the, and then before I introduce Rajat to all of you, Wasiqul, you can get on call and then kind of share your experience and obviously add something to what I have already said or highlight the importance. And guys, again, it's very important to ask questions. I'll take over after Rajat finish. I'll get back. So over to you, Wasiqul.
Hello?
Yes, excellent. We can hear you, Wasiqul. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so let me start by, just give me a few seconds. I think, can you continue for 1 minute? I will come just after 1 minute. I will.
All right, no worries. Let's just actually, while Wasiqul is gone, you can start. So guys, before I just start, I just want to give you I wanted to bring someone who was in your shoes recently. Rajat, you can go to your slide actually. Who was in your shoes recently? That means Rajat Goel actually is a graduate student of University of Southern California. It's a very good university in my dear Orange County, California, wonderful place. I call it living paradise. But guys, Rajat actually did a great job with the GRE. He has a lot to share in terms of how he prepared, in terms of what he's currently doing, and how he like it, like his hair. I mean, like this is important for you to know while you're there, while you're preparing, because these things motivate you. People like Rajat were in your shoes. They were you. And maybe many people are better than Rajat. So it depends on your potential. But guys, if Rajat can do it, obviously many of you people can do it, definitely do that. So you see the scores here, amazing scores. I'm like, this is a great job, Rajat. So just over to you. You can share your experience. I'm like, you can speak for 5-10 minutes, 10 minutes. That will be fine. And then I'll take over. Wasikul and me will take over. So over to you, Rajat.
Thank you, Levi, for the introduction. Yeah, my name is Rajat, and I'm a graduate student at University of Southern California. I did my bachelor's from AMU in computer science from ZHCET, and yeah, I prepared religiously for GRE and went through all of the resources and did a very good research about the universities and all. So I have experienced all those stuff that you are currently experiencing, and I really know your pain. So just ask any questions, any doubts that you have. One thing that helped me for sure were the seniors and the alumni that were based abroad, and those who have already prepared for abroad education, for going to abroad universities. And they had really great suggestions, and I was really narrowed down with the useful resources and the knowledge, and I was really inspired by this story. So definitely go out, talk to the seniors, talk to the people who have already been through this phase that you are currently in. And I would really encourage you that whenever you have that point of frustration during your preparation, because I know I have those low points and those high points. Definitely you all must be experiencing those stuff. So whenever you have those low points, just go out, talk to some senior, talk about your problems, and you'll definitely get a good solution to those problems. So those are my scores, and there are a few tips and suggestions that I would like to give for those who are preparing for GRE currently. Is that being Indian students and having that kind of preparation in mathematics right from our school, I don't think we'll find the quantitative questions very difficult at GRE. It just requires a lot of practice. So you can directly jump into the practice of quantitative questions, and get to know what type of questions are being asked, and what are the patterns in GRE, in the questions that GRE asks, and how you can quickly solve those questions. So it just requires a lot of practice. For the verbal section, I would definitely recommend to learn words first, so that you can understand what the question asks and answer accordingly. In the initial period of my preparation, I used to solve the questions of verbal, and I was unable to figure out what the question asks and what are the meaning of the words. So I was really very frustrated that I'm not getting any question correct. So I don't want you guys to do that. And RC is also important. So for the verbal questions, it's like fill in the blanks, matching the words, and questions in RCs. So matching the words, fill in the blanks are based on how good your vocabulary is for the GRE. But for the RC questions, it's not based on the GRE vocabulary. It's based on your thinking, on your logic, how you get to a certain answer, how you better understand the passage that is given. So for RC, it's not like you have a great vocabulary, you would be able to answer all the questions. You have to really understand what the pattern is of the question, what the author says in the passage. And what I would recommend for RCs are RC require a lot of practice. When I was giving my actual GRE, in the first section of my verbal, my RC went horribly wrong. So I was really very upset, but I didn't let that that thing affect my further sections. I just prepared the strategy after that. And what I would recommend you guys to do is just go through the first reading of the passage and understand what every passage tells you. Just don't go deep inside the passage, but understand what every passage, what the author wants to convey in the passage. Don't go deep, and then jump into the questions. And whatever I have read, the GRE pattern is that the questions are specific to a certain passage. So you don't have to read whole paragraph, whole passage. You just have to read the specific paragraph in the passage, and you will get your answer. And the options, the alternatives in the question are really very confusing in RC. When I used to practice RC, I was like, all the answers are correct. How would I know which one is correct or not? So you definitely have to practice for that, and you definitely have to understand what the question says and what the author says in the passage. So I would definitely recommend you guys to just practice a lot of questions in RCs, because RC is a big part of your verbal section. So RCs and vocab, those are the two important things, and then you can jump into the practice for verbal questions and just regularly do your quantitative questions as well. So what my strategy was that I think I have, yep. I'll come to that. So what my strategy for quant section and verbal practice was that whenever I was bored learning the words, the vocabulary words, I jumped into the questions for quantitative, and those gave me like a period of relief, like period of rest. So because I was very comfortable with quant, and it was kind of interesting to do all those questions and get them correct. So you get that kind of motivation, right? So once you're bored with your verbal vocabulary or verbal practice, just jump into the quantitative section and you will feel good.
Yeah, Rajat, adding to that, I saw that you now wrote quantitative sections are very easy. I know a lot of people who are not engineers here.
Right.
So people who are not engineers, for those, obviously you'll be thinking like, yeah, quantitative section itna easy bol raha hai, engineer hai, all these things. Don't guys, don't worry about it. I'm sure there is a trade-off. Like people who are not good in quantitative, they're from arts, they must be good in verbals. And then obviously you can score good in verbal, and you can practice in quants, because engineers have a hard time in verbal and they have a good time in quant, but you can have a good time in verbal and have bad time in quants, but at least quant is much easier to prepare for, because it's just 10th or 12th mathematics. And then obviously we're here to help you out. And Rajat will share his strategy. But so you can go briefly on this instead of line by line. And once I share the deck with everybody, then you can read through what is the strategy for GRE preparation, TOEFL preparation. Now everything is in the slide. And this is one perspective, guys. This is Rajat's perspective of preparation. Maybe your style of preparation might be different. So make sure that you find your own style, not stick to and not own other style. It's not a good idea to be a Shah Rukh Khan all the time. You can be yourself as well. So let us go ahead, please. Over to you.
Yeah. So as Ali Bhai mentioned, I really forgot to mention that. Yes, for those who are weak at mathematics, just get familiar with the stuff, get familiar with the topics that GRE asks, and there are great resources in the official guides for verbal as well as quant. So you don't need to gather stuff from anywhere else. Just read through that, and if you find that some topic is confusing, either in verbal or in quant, if you find that some topic is confusing, just go through the tutorials for those topics and practice. So that's the key, right? So as Ali Bhai mentioned that I'm from an engineering background, so I have a weak verbal, but I was good at quant. So I had to practice a lot in verbal. So first of all, I went through all the words from Magoosh and Barron's. So I would like to mention that you guys are very lucky that you would get a Magoosh account, because when I was preparing, I didn't have a Magoosh premium account until my preparation ended. So SSGSA is providing you that opportunity to take advantage of the Magoosh premium account, because Magoosh gives you the best material, as far as I know, the best material for preparation of GRE. So definitely take advantage of that if you are preparing for GRE. And Ali Bhai, I think you'll give them the credentials for Magoosh soon. So
yes.
Right. And for practice, I refer to Manhattan 5 pounds and tutorial books, and Magoosh app was definitely helpful. And for quantitative section, as I said, I was good at it. So just make sure that you practice every day so that you don't forget any topic, and practice more from the topics that you find confusing, so that during your GRE, your actual GRE, you can easily solve those kind of questions. And I would recommend for people in engineering background, or those who are looking for an engineering education, higher education, I would recommend to aim for more or equal to 167 in quant, because uh, the admission committee in here knows that international students won't be that much proficient in English in verbal, because they are international. That's not your native language. But if you're seeking a degree in engineering, you have to have the quant aptitude. So definitely aim for a good quant score if you're seeking an engineering
Yes.
higher education.
Just to add to that, like guys who are not engineers, I'm an engineer from background, but I still want to be to you guys. I can feel the pain. There are a lot of engineers here, but I want to tell you that guys, the people who are not engineers, don't worry about not hitting 167, because sometimes you're not required to. Sometimes, like if in your arts faculty, that's just like Rajat said, in your arts faculty, maybe the minimum was 160, guys. Like maybe 160 considered to be a very good score. So know your university requirement and then prepare yourself. Don't sweat too much on making sure that you have a 167 and taking math classes. पुराने प्रोफेसर के पास चले गए, मैथ पढ़ाते थे बचपन में, हाँ भाई फिर से 10 पढ़ा दीजिए मुझे, I have to score in GRE. Don't do that. Don't sweat too much. What you have to make sure that you're preparing smart. You're not preparing hard. The days of hard work has gone long time. The days of smart work is now. So you need to understand you're preparing, or you're working smart, not hard enough. So work smart, know what is required, and then hit the target. There is 24 hours in a day, so we have to know and prioritize things as well. So go ahead, Rajat.
Exactly.
You can a couple of minutes, and then I'll hand over to you.
Sure. As Ali Bhai said, it's necessary to act smart. So for people who are from arts or from communication, journalism, or all those kind of stuff, it might be better to focus on either verbal or AWA, that is analytical writing assessment. So AWA is important for people who are applying for PhDs and people who are applying for journalism, communication, and all those kind of stuff. So they don't have to focus that much on quant section, but they definitely have to focus on writing part, because they are going to do a lot of writing during their higher education, and that's the thing that you have to look for. What are the requirements for your degree, and what are the things that admission committee looks at your profile while selection. So definitely do that. Definitely research about it, and it's just for engineering background. The 167 score, you don't have to worry about it if you are not applying for engineering. So yeah, right.
Yep. So Rajat, you can skip this. I think I'll just leave it with the time, respecting the time here. So guys, I'll share the screen. Rajat, any last tips that you want to say in a minute? You can.
I think I've probably covered almost everything. The AWA part was left, so you definitely have to. Most of the people are always preparing for GRE. They mean for verbal and quant. They definitely not prepare for AWA. So I would definitely recommend that you also focus on AWA part, because I have seen many people who were rejected because of their AWA score, but their GRE score was brilliant. So also look out for AWA practice, and look out for people who can help you with that. And yeah, those are some must read and must haves that you should do. And Those are the tips that you can read afterwards. Some of the TOEFL tips are also included. So TOEFL preparation is not that difficult if you have scored well in your GRE. So you'll get to know after you're done with your GRE. TOEFL is basically just the English proficiency test, just to know that you understand, you speak, you listen to English well, so that you can understand everything that is being offered to you during the lectures at your higher education. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rajat.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajat. Sorry, I interrupted you. Did you think something?
No, it's okay. I was just handing over to you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Rajat. Perfect. I was doing a time check here. So, guys, Rajat, I think Ali Rizvi Bhai joined, and just can you unmute him a little bit? So I think he's there on the list of the attendees. If you can unmute him directly from there. Ali Bhai, you there?
Yes, Ali Bhai is unmuted.
Yes, I'm here online. Hello, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. Wonderful presentation by all of you. And Rajat, you did a wonderful job, and thank you for this beautiful presentation. Really amazing. Many people would have benefited tremendously by your details provided and how the strategies given to how prepare for the exams, and really amazing, wonderful. So you will have a full recording of this, right?
Yeah. Yes, Ali Bhai. We actually recorded from the first time itself. So very first second we started. We started at almost 7:13 a.m. Eastern time, and it's almost an hour. So we have the recording overall.
So you have anybody else with questions that you've?
Yes. Yes. At the end we will open it for the questions. We'll open the lines. So I think that will be perfect time for you to kind of join and kind of like introducing yourself. Sorry, Ali Bhai, I didn't introduce you a little bit. I was actually going to in the next slide. So guys, for all of the people, I think you already know Syed Ali Rizvi Bhai. So Ali Rizvi Bhai is actually in the FF committee. He's one of the founder members of SSGSA, and obviously my mentor, and always supportive to me and guide. So it's been a tremendous support to all of us who are here, who actually become a scholar. And guys, you will be hearing from him a lot, and he will always be supportive, always be there. So ask him questions and shoot him an email, shoot me an email if you have any questions. Society Committee is amazing. Like go to the next slide, Rajat. Can you please go next? Please. Yes. Stop here. So this is the guys. Before I hand over to Ali Bhai again, this is the SSGSA team. I want to actually end with this. So guys, once you all have become a part of the family now. Like once you got a scholarship, you're part of the family. We're expecting you to join the legacy. Well, being the legacy means I actually was a scholar just like you 3 years ago. And then it started, Wasikul started, Rajat is here as well on the team, and he started just like you guys. And once we got into preparation, and everybody faced the same hurdle, so we know your pain, as Rajat mentioned, and we are here to help you. And in the executive committee, if you see, Ali Bhai is right here, he's from Boston, and there Ali Bhai, Rehan Bakri Bhai, Shaida Bhai, Zaf Bhai were the founder members of SSGSA, and they really kind of helped us kind of create this amazing family, which we are here with like almost 100 people and over. And we expect you to be part of the family. We expect you to come over back and then help your juniors who will follow you, inshallah. And then you will take it from there. You will take the leadership. You will obviously, because I was there 3 years ago, now I'm kind of trying my best to kind of make this going on. You will be trying your best in future to lead this and instill. And doing all that, you will learn that leadership skills, and doing that, you will obviously give back to the community, give back to the Aligarh fraternity as well. So that is it. This is wonderful. I have been blessed so much with SSGSA doing this work, and this is tremendous. So over to you, Ali Bhai, kind of like before we hand over to Wasikul actually, and then we can take open a question hour, and then you can join more. So Ali Bhai.
Yeah, thank you, Ali. But really, I have nothing more to add right now, because it's we should have this more discussion about what the students are wanting to know. So if you want to proceed and have any other people ask any questions, it'll be easy to answer any questions that they have. So please proceed. Wonderful, amazing. And do we have Rehan also on the line?
I'm trying to see. I don't think Rehan Bhai is there.
I saw his email saying I'm on the line.
Oh, Rehan Bhai. Oh, yes, he's close.
Ji, man.
Sorry, can you unmute Rehan Bhai, bro?
Yeah, Rehan Bhai is unmuted.
All right.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Rehan Bhai.
Bahut shukriya. No, I have been on the line for a while, and I was on mute just listening, and all of you were doing an amazing job. I just want to take one very quick moment to say that we are, SSGSA has a very high standard. All of you that have been selected through a very rigorous screening process. What that means is that we have a lot of faith in your abilities. So right off the bat, that is something you should be, aware of, that we have complete confidence in your abilities and your talent. अब यहाँ से आप successful कैसे हों, इसमें we have to do a 50-50 partnership, right? I mean, it has to be an equal effort from your side in terms of your motivation, in terms of your ambition, and in terms of your drive. जितना आप यूज कर सकते हैं SSGSA के resources, उतना आपके वो काम आएंगे. So we can, we are always here for you. We will provide you with all the resources and the mentorship, but you have to take charge of your career. You have to be motivated and pursue us. You have to, make sure that you make the best use of this. So that is my only request, that, push us. If we are, lagging behind, then push us. इसमें कोई बुरा कोई नहीं मानेगा यहाँ पे. We are all here to help you, but you are, in charge. So we are here to support your inshallah. This is the beginning of a wonderful career for all of you, and we will be honored to be a part of that. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ranbhai. I think that was a critical point, and these are the motivation that we need. Guys, you are going to help us make you successful. It's not the other way around all the time. So you have to understand that maybe sometimes I miss email, maybe sometimes we all get busy. So the best way is to include all of the SSGSA committee in the emails, to reply all when I include everybody. Sometimes we miss that. So that will make sure that you get a reply faster. And make sure that you remind me, follow up with me. Hey, Ali bhai, you haven't replied me for 2-3 days. What are you doing? And so please reply. And I don't feel bad. I feel like you are motivated enough to reach out to me again and again. And bugging me, I don't bother at all. Obviously, not every day. But I'm just kidding. You have to go out there and push people. You have to push. Wasikul will be handling your all the GRE registration and everything. So push Wasikul. It's not always CC me. Maybe he's busy with his schedule and he's traveling. So if you any other person who Rehan Bhai and all those people, they all are aware of how the system works. So everybody will reply faster if you make sure that you follow up faster. So guys, Wasikul, I think last comments from you, and then I will wrap up and open for the questions.
Hello. Yeah. So all of the comments and all the presentations were given by Ali Muzzafar Bhai and Rajat was really wonderful. I have very little points to add. So few things I want to say, that the first thing is that all the SSGSA scholars should be self-motivated. So motivation is very important, because we have also seen in the past that many scholars, after getting selected, they actually didn't apply, or so as what Ali Muzzafar Bhai was mentioning, that some scholars, they took the Magoosh account, but they didn't study properly. So those things. So at first you have to make a good plan for you, that what you want to do, when you want to do, and accordingly you have to actually start the preparation. So as Ali Muzzafar Bhai said, that the admission deadlines actually start from early November actually. So some of the universities, they have deadlines in November 1st. Some universities will have 15th November. Some will have for December 1st, December 15th. So it varies actually. So you have to be actually proactive, and you need to make a very good plan. So actually, I also just remember that after taking your GRE, it will take 21 days for you to have your results. And when you take the TOEFL, it will take 10 days to have the results. So if you want to apply in for the fall, and if you want to, if your university's deadlines are in December, so you have to plan accordingly that so that you have those 21 days. So you have to take the GRE TOEFL accordingly. And also another thing is, last year actually, unfortunately, we observed one case where one of our scholars didn't know properly what SESA or SSGSA is, even after I think attending so many webinars. So it is. So I will recommend you to go through our websites properly to know exactly what we are and what we are doing. We don't give cash, and also we provide you all the fees of your GRE TOEFL exams and the application fees up to 5 universities. So it was so unfortunate for us actually that in the last year one of our scholars he didn't know. So at first, be sure that what SSGSA is, how SSGSA will be helping in your success. And another thing, some practical information is practical suggestions are set up GRE TOEFL account. So go to their websites, official websites, and set up your accounts. And also, I will be sending you the Magoosh study material coupon today, just after this meeting when the meeting ends. After I think within few hours, I will be sending you the Magoosh coupons. And what you will do, you will go to the Magoosh website and you will make an account, Magoosh account, and using the coupon code which I will be sending you. So you will be getting all the study materials, preparation materials. Another practical suggestion is if you don't have any passport, just apply for the passport. That's also important thing, and because to appear for GRE TOEFL, you need your passport.
Yep.
And also start looking for the universities from this point. Actually, so if you are interested for PhD, so as I told you, the first point is motivation. So you have to be motivated that exactly what you want to do. Suppose if you are interested in a particular subject, if you are interested in a PhD, you should be able to figure out that in what exact field you want to do your research. So according to that, actually you start searching that on that field, what are the best universities, what are the best people, which are the best research groups, who has funding, all the facilities. So that the main point is you have to set up a very good plan, and you have to be sure that what you want to do, you have to be motivated for that, very much motivated for that. So start looking for those universities, that what are those universities where you will find your program which you are interested in. And also there are many so in our website we have trying to arrange lots of resources, lots of links, beautiful blogs. So you start joining those blogs, visit those blogs, there are many Facebook groups where people actually prepare together. So you can just join those Facebook groups as well. And also, so try Googling, and you will in Google you will get lots of resources. So in this way, you have to just start looking for universities and look for all those resources. So whenever you get resources, you just try to get benefit from it, and also don't be distracted too much, because sometimes when we get too many resources from too many websites, too many coaching centers, we get distracted. So Magoosh preparation material is a very good material. Actually, I will recommend you to make Magoosh your main preparation material, and additionally, whatever material you get from anywhere, you just have a look at them. And also another thing is, just after today's meeting, I will be sending you one Google form. So you need to, so as I told you, I told you to make accounts in GRE TOEFL website. So go to their websites and make accounts. So in the Google form, there will be some question that you need to fill your account name, password, those things of your GRE TOEFL, etc. And also we will have some questions. We will be just doing some survey about our SSGSA scholars. So you will be filling them. And another important thing is, as Ali Muzzafar Bhai just mentioned, that whenever you are replying to email, you do CC to all of the persons who are involved in that mail. So suppose if you are sending me some information, if you are just writing to me, please make sure that you are also doing CC to Ali Muzzafar Bhai as well. And another thing, which I wanted to tell you is that last year, from my experience, because I was handling the process of applying to universities and doing the payment, making the payment. So I observed that suppose you are applying for fall, and in fall your deadline is in December. So what students generally say? They say that in December we have semester exams, and in semester exam our exams is starting. And just at the deadline, suppose the deadline is 15th December. So in 15th December at night is the deadline, and at 15th December noon or in the morning, people are sending me emails that, Bhai, please submit this application. So this is actually very bad, because sometimes it is, for us also it gets very much difficult because for you are alone, but for us, so suppose for me, I am handling 15 or 16 SSGSA scholars. So if everyone just sends me 5 applications at the same time, and also I am also doing something, I am also doing PhD, I am also busy in something. So all of our SSGSA team members, they are busy in their own jobs. So it becomes very difficult for us to just at the last moment. So as I told you, that the first thing is get motivated, self-motivated, and make a very good plan. So according to plan, you will have to just think that, okay, I will have 21 days. I will require 21 days after GRE test. I require 10 days after TOEFL test so that I get the test results. And also, we will be having different sessions, different webinar sessions on these topics. We can discuss about these things later in detail.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's all from me. Yeah, these things are few practical suggestions. So make a very good plan, and whatever Ali Muzzafar Bhai, Rajat, and Rehan Bhai, Ali Bhai, whatever they say, just try to follow them.
Thank you, excellent. Thank you so much, Wasikul. That was very valuable inputs. I think the reason Wasikul was giving you guys a heads up because we have faced some logistic issues. So make sure that. I know that you guys are responsible enough. Every year we have more brighter students from the past, so you will not commit the same mistake. But make sure that you're following all the correct guidelines and everything, so it will help you eventually, not us more. So guys, thank you so much, Wasikul, for that. I think and with Magoosh, I want to really emphasize on the fact that if you're preparing for it, then reach out to us. Please, do not reach out to us just for the sake of getting Magoosh account. And because if you're not planning to prepare this year, please let's use the resource next year because it's going to expire in 6 months. So obviously, if you want to just see Magoosh, let me know. I will walk you through it. But don't get the coupons if you're not preparing this year. I saw that Athar actually commented just now that he's not preparing, obviously. So yes, you do not need to create GRE account and TOEFL account if you're not preparing this year. Obviously, your SSGSA Scholarship will also be open, or you can redeem it next year as well. So it's valid till next year, so 1 more year. So you're okay if you're not preparing this year. So guys, with that, I think, can you go to the last slide, Rajat, please?
Sure.
I want to wind up and see if I didn't miss anything, and then we should be good to open the question and answer. So guys, let's see the stories. I mean, like, let's go back a little bit. I just want to kind of motivate again for you guys. A lot of stories from beginning, 2007, when Rehan Bhai, Shada Bhai, Ali Bhai, and Saif Bhai started this program. When they started this program, a lot of people started joining them. Only three scholars in 2007, 2008 one, 2009 many more, 2011, and the universities are pretty known universities. It's not like university like in the corner. We saw Stanford here, we saw great names here. So University of Massachusetts is a good university. And all those universities are pretty good. So that means the scholars, as Rehan Bhai was mentioning, are very high caliber. That means SSGSA is on merit basis. This proves the fact that we are a merit-based a scholarship program, and you guys are very, very talented, and you have to continue that kind of energy and motivation to go ahead and do the same thing, and even better than what these people have done and achieved in their career. Rajat, you can go at the end. So yes. So contact us. I think you already know how to contact us, so I don't want to emphasize on that. We have a Facebook page. We have a website as well. CSI.us is the old website. You can also go to SSGSA.us. The website are continuously improving it. If you have any suggestions, if you are part of family now, guys, so हम लोग appreciate करेंगे आपके suggestions, feedback. Obviously, after this call, हम orientation program को कैसे improve कर सकते हैं? We will make sure that we will reach out with that Google form as well, and you can fill out the feedback, give us like quick feedback. Hey, how did we do? What went wrong? What was it? So all the contact details are here. Next, Rajat. Yeah, I have some funny slides. Okay, so SSGSA at AMU, guys. So we have a presence at AMU as well. You have to understand who are the prime contacts in the campus itself. You already know the face of SSGSA at AMU, and that is Sohail Sabir, right? Sohail Sabir sir is always helpful for all the SSGSA scholar. If you go out there and meet him and let him know that I'm the scholar for this year, I have some quick questions, this and this. And if you have any comments for us, and obviously reach out to him if you need some resource, especially reach out to him. If you need to know somebody in SSGSA Scholar, you're not getting a hold of us, Sohail Sabir sir is there in person. If you need motivation, I know that Rehan Bhai's professor was Sohail Sabir sir. So everybody of us got a motivation. So anyways, guys, let's go to the last slide. Quick. So always help each other. It's important to, in group, all the CSS group members are now family. So you will never reach higher grounds if you are always pushing others down. So make sure that you help each other. Make sure that engineering people help prepare arts people on on Quant, and vice versa. Now to go to the next slide, I just want to open quickly to question and answer because I know it's important. So preparation needs opportunity, guys. We have to start preparing. You all have to start preparation. And that's it. Thank you. And last slide. Please, I have a good one. Yes. Did I ask a question today? Yeah. So guys, can you open the question line, please, for everybody? Unmute everybody else. And then
Muzzafar bhai, I will like to give one more suggestion. That is the SSGSA scholars, they should actually, those scholars who are staying in Aligarh, they may wish to form a group, or they may wish to meet regularly, or they may wish to study together as well. That will be actually sometimes useful.
That's a very interesting point. That is very important. Guys, if you can find some book and if you can prepare yourself, we will prepare a Google Hangout for you.
Because mainly for TOEFL actually, for when they will prepare for TOEFL, there are some speaking exercises. So for that actually it is very useful to form a group and to practice of speaking in English on different topics regularly. So in some few seconds. So that is very useful. Mainly for TOEFL speaking, it will be the best thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wasikul, let's open the line for question answer. Thank you so much, Wasikul, and everybody for joining the call. And let's open.
Ali Bhai, are you muted? I'm so sorry.
Everybody has been unmuted.
Okay, Ali Bhai, you are unmuted. you can speak. I'm so sorry. I just started the Q&A, so everybody was muted. After that, I unmuted you. Yeah.
All right. So guys, everybody can ask the question. I think there's a question already. Or. So can you just on chat box, if you have questions, just say yes, and then we'll open the line for you. That can do. SSGSA also pay for GRE subjects. So, and can you unmute Rehan Bhai and Ali Bhai as well?
Sure. Athar has some question to ask. I've unmuted him.
Athar, go ahead.
Actually, I have just finished my bachelor's and I want to apply for PhD program. So I have 2 years in between for which in those years I will do my master's. So I just want to confirm that is this scholarship, as Ali Bhai has just said, that it is valid for the next year as well. So if I am applying for GRE and TOEFL in 2019, will it also is it valid for that till that time?
2019. Ali Bhai and Rehan Bhai, I can leave it to you. You can take that, but I think it's not.
I cannot unmute Ali Rizvi Bhai and Rehan Bhai. I think Rehan Bhai. Yeah, Rehan Bhai is unmuted.
So one thing that just to keep in mind, SESA, what we have historically done, and that's in the charter of the SSGSA charter, is that it is valid for 2 years after you were awarded. So so basically, if you receive the award in 2017, you can avail it for up to 2 years. So if you are looking for admission in 2019, my suggestion would be to take your exam in 2018, right? So I think you will still be within that time frame. So just keep that in mind, Kate. SSGSA, the award is valid for up to 2 years after receiving it. Hopefully that answers the question.
Yep.
Athar, do you have any other question to ask?
Yes, Rehan Bhai, एक और question है कि will SSGSA assist me if I apply for master's program in Europe countries?
So master's program थोड़ा tricky होता है, right? Because the thing is, master's programs, many programs, especially in Europe and also some in US, they don't have financial aid. So financial aid ना होने के उसमें what happens is you have to support your own education in many cases. But if you find a program where you can get a scholarship and there is a likely path forward, or if you can afford to pay all that money for your master's program, then SSGSA will help you apply for the master's program. There's no doubt, because SSGSA is for graduate studies, and a master's degree is also considered a graduate degree. We have people who have come to master's programs and become very successful, and we have supported them. So that is not a problem.
Thank you.
एक और question मैंने देखा था GRE subject का.
जी.
So
yeah, Sachin Gupta is next for the question, and he has the same question. So I'll unmute him for a while.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Sachin, you're unmuted. Please ask your question.
Hello to all of you.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, can SESA also pay for GRE subject?
So good question, Sachin. The answer is that SSGSA will pay for one GRE. So if you want to take subject GRE with SSGSA funds, then we are happy to pay that. But then you will have to take the general GRE yourself. Does that answer your question? Because it will only pay for one GRE. So you can pick and choose which one you want SSGSA to pay and which one you want to pay yourself. But by policy, you will only pay for one GRE.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any other questions, Sachin?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Rehan Bhai, एक और question है Athar से. And what is the probability of getting financial support for PhD program? So I think that from your experience, you can answer that.
So I would say this answer depends on your discipline, right? कौन सा subject है आपका? So if you are applying for an Athar, let me ask you, आप कौन से department से हैं?
Athar, if you want to ask question, why don't you press the question and answer button and you will be added into the queue. So because there are more people who are in the queue, so let me have the questions for them first.
Let me just answer that question then.
Sure.
So we can move on to other questions. But basically, the answer is that science में, life science में, usually some of the engineering disciplines, these related disciplines, then there is a very, very high probability of getting funding, financial support for PhD. Economics, arts, humanities, it is, the probability I would say is lower. I would say in the 50-60% range. But what you can do is usually, even with there, you will always get the opportunity. If it is a good university in economics, you will get the opportunity to work as a teaching assistant, right? A TA. तो TA का ऑप्शन जब आप टिक करेंगे और आपका सिलेक्शन होगा तो उसमें ये होगा कि फॉर अ फ्यू months of the year you will teach certain class or help a professor teach a class. उससे आपको stipend मिलेगा, you will be paid for that, and that money you can use towards your scholarship. So there are ways of finding fellowship. Usually in most cases PhD programs are funded.
Okay, there's a question from Harshir. Let me just put it on unmute. Yeah, Harshir, go ahead.
Hello all. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to ask if SESA will assist me if I plan for a master's in European countries.
Right, a good question. We just answered that. So yes, it will.
No. Okay, sir. Sir, I want to extend. Sir, I am getting a summer internship from Germany. I'm going next month for that. So I might be getting an LOR from the university I'm enrolled in. So if I plan for a master's, in Germany, will SESA assist me in that?
Absolutely, and congratulations on your internship.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
And I think internships are always very useful. We always encourage students to do that, especially because if you can get a letter of recommendation from your this wherever you are going towards your masters, it becomes very good. So yes, we will support you in that as long as it is it's within the framework of SESA, so it requires the same tests and fees. We are happy to support you.
Okay, so sounds good to me.
Is there any other question, Harshir?
Now I'm done with.
Okay, thank you. We have Athar Hassan who has a question. Let me put it on mute. Yeah, go ahead, Athar.
We'll take more.
Ali Bhai has said that said the role of extracurricular activities. I want to ask what type of extracurricular activities. If there are any Aligarh who have a literally club and other clubs, will that help or not?
देखिए मैं आपको बताऊं अथर साहब, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में दो बकेट्स में रखता हूँ. ये दिस इज माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन, Ali and all the others can weigh in as well. But दो buckets हैं, right? दो तरह categories हैं. The first category is one that teaches you a relevant skill, that helps you practice a relevant skill, right? For example, literary club है या इस टाइप का कोई club है जिसमें जाके आप you're practicing communication skills, you're practicing English, you're practicing a lot of different skills. So that is one, and that is very helpful. The other extracurricular activities are not so much directed at a particular skill set, but more overall personality development, such as leadership, right? So, for example, आप अगर अपने college के किसी festival के वो बन गए, lead बन गए, chair बन गए, या अपने hall के residential hall में किसी कोई leadership position आपने ले ली, hall monitor या इस type का senior hall. So, what that will do is वो आपको एक exposure देगा, an opportunity देगा to use your, to develop your leadership attributes. तो वो दोनों जो तरह की एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज हैं, दोनों आपकी सारी जिंदगी काम आएगी, not just for SSGSA, not just for application to graduate school, but these are skills that will always come useful. So think of extracurricular activities as, am I building a skill? Am I developing my personality? and you should do both if you can. Of course, you have to balance it with your studies.
Is there any other question?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Rajat. Thank you, Rehan, by the
we have Bhanu in the queue. One more person. Just the last question, I guess.
That's the last question. And Ali bhai, did you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yeah, Bhanu is on the line. Bhanu is on the line.
Hello, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
Rehan sir, good morning. Actually, my name is Bhanu Pandey and I am graduated this year from Electrical Engineering, ZSCT. Sir, my question is actually the time I applied for the SESA this year, I had no admit by that time, and the GRE and TOEFL, though I had taken GRE and TOEFL by that time, but my score was not that good. So what I planned was that I will retake my GRE and TOEFL this year, and luckily I got SESA too. But just a month after I received the SESA, it so happened by luck that I got admit from Georgia Tech in ECE. So I asked for many other seniors and I consulted many people. So even based on my profile, even if I take GRE and TOEFL next year and score even better than what I have scored this time, then I won't get something better than Georgia Tech because it is already in the top 10 of the US public university list. So can I expect something like reimbursement or something for GRE and TOEFL that I have taken?
No, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Bhanu. First of all, congratulations on the admit. Great job. I think Georgia Tech is a very good university, technical university. Unfortunately, we do not reimbursement for past expenses. It's हमारा जो model है वो cash transfer allow नहीं करता है. Even though we may want to help you, we can't because the way we pay our financial transactions, we cannot transfer money from our organization to an individual. That is not how we work. The only way we can work, financially, हमारा जो setup है, वो ये है कि we pay for the fees directly. So if the fees has already been paid, then we are sorry, we won't be able to reimburse that for you. But we are very happy for you. And if you have any, questions following up or leading up, and just because you have SSGSA, you will always be a scholar. Even if you have questions on mentorship or Georgia Tech jaane se pehle, if you want to get connected with people there, or if you want to find out more about the university or just talk to people, feel free to reach out to our network. And Ali and Rajat and Vasikul and all the others will be able to support you like we support all the SSGSA students when they transition from the AMU to universities here.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Bhanu. Any questions? Bhanu, any more questions? That's all right. So I think Rajat, you can unmute. You can mute everybody. I think that was the last question. Rehan bhai, thank you so much.
Sure.
So if you have more questions, everybody, please reach out to us. Please email back to the same thread that we are following for this session and in the email thread in Gmail. And Ali bhai, is there anything to add on all the questions that Rehan bhai answered? And kind of like a note for the question answer round.
I'm unable to unmute Ali bhai. The mic option is disabled for him.
All right.
I'm not sure.
No, I cannot unmute myself. All right. I think.
Yeah, he's unmuted, I guess. Yeah, he's unmuted. Ali bhai, can you say something?
Yes, I think he can speak now. Ali bhai?
Yes, sir. Ali Muzzafar, thank you. I'm unmuted now. I can. So I was listening to all the presentation and the responses very well. Nice questions and very, I think Rehan did a wonderful job in the answers. I'd like to make two comments on the questions asked and the presentation. And I think Rehan answered on this very nicely on the two aspects of doing the extracurricular activities at AMU. So two things are कि जितने भी बच्चे इस वक्त अलीगढ़ से apply कर रहे हैं SESA program के लिए, it is a very huge change for all of them. Because they're moving from the confines of AMU to an overseas model, coming over to the USA or other countries, like somebody is asking for Europe. So there's a huge amount of change which happens internally externally within the family also. तो हम लोगों को ये समझें that we are elders in the family, and रिहान है, हम हैं, सैफ हैं और शाहिदा भाई लोग हैं, तो हम लोग बहुत पुराने यहाँ पर अमेरिका में हैं. तो ऐसे मौके पे कभी कभी when such issues arise, so think of us as a family, as somebody who can talk to you on any level, चाहे education के मुतालिक से हो or it is based on your professional needs, what's happening. So जो सवाल आएंगे, so please you ask those questions either individually of us or write to us and we will respond to you. That was one. Number two, in terms of your other activities, खास तौर से अमेरिका में और वैसे भी और जहाँ अप्लाई करते हैं, one important component is, apart from the academics, you may have a 4.0 GPA and so on and so forth. उसमें ये होता है कि what has a person done as a social cause, औरों के लिए क्या किया है आपने. तो उसमें try to find some good non-profit, some good cause जहाँ पर आप contribute कर सकें, because it will help you not even now, it will help you in the longer term, for 4 years now down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. तो वो बड़ा important है. So I know everybody is very highly motivated in this, and academically they are very advanced and they've done well for themselves at school, university and so on. लेकिन उस generally देखा ये गया है कि जो हमारे पास में resume आते हैं, उनमें से ये aspect जो सब weak होता है. So with that 2 comments, I think we're all here for Ali Muzzafar आपने बड़ी अच्छी बात कही थी कि that we're all here. The more people get involved and engaged with the program and ask questions, the more it will give us the reasons to talk to them and engage. So thank you so much. Please, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ali Bhai. And thank you so much, Rehan Bhai, for answering the question. Thank you so much, Ali Bhai, for follow-up comments. That was very, very valuable for everyone. I think valuable for me as well. So guys, please take a note of everything that is being covered today. If you have any questions, follow-up questions, since I know that this is going to be start time at 7:20 in India, so I'm going to wrap this up in the next 2 minutes. So please ask any question on the thread, as already mentioned, and Wasikul will be sending you surveys. Please make sure that you fill out all the surveys. That is very, very important for us to kind of reach you out or kind of help you finish your GRE registration and improve the process as a whole as well. And apart from that, I wanted to emphasize on the importance of kind of reaching out and following up with everything, making sure your plan is in place. So guys, that's it. Your knowledge team, that means the preparation team, will be Afzal Shadab, who will be kind of checking how you're doing in the progress of Magoosh and everything. So he will be just sending you reports and everything. I will be sending him reports, but you will be getting the reports from him. So Afzal Shadab, make a note of that name. Kashif is also going to be involved in checking your progress with Magoosh. So make sure that you only request for Magoosh only if you need it, please. We have limited accounts as of now, and we will really appreciate if you take into consideration that. So with that, I think wait for next emails. If you have any questions, reach out to me, Wasikul, Ali Bhai, Rehan Bhai, Saif Bhai, and everybody else in the SSGSA team. SSGSA team, I again said SSGSA. So SSGSA, remember guys, SSGSA, we are now getting global. So thank you so much, Rajat, for coordinating this call. Wonderfully executed. I love this. I think we will have a recording, so we'll share with everybody who missed this call. So with that, thank you everybody for joining it. Thank you, Rajat. Thank you, Wasikul. Thank you, Ali Bhai, and thank you, Rehan Bhai.
Thank you everyone. And I would like to mention here that we'll be hosting other webinars on the same portal. So it would be very efficient and convenient for all of you to just download the app for this free conference call. And I think there won't be any technical difficulties in the future with the call. And I'm really very sorry if somebody experienced some technical difficulties. This is the first time that we are hosting the call. So we'll be better and better with every call. So I'll most probably be sending the slides and the link to the recording to all the scholars and everybody. So don't worry about that. You'll get everything. And just share your questions, your comments, your suggestions, your feedbacks with us so that we can improve and help you better. So thank you.
Perfect. And just last but not the least, you did a great job. So don't worry about the technical difficulties. Great job. Thank you so much. All right, everybody can disconnect. We are set to go. All right.